What's going on, guys? Checking out the latest episode of DD214 Gaming Podcast. Check them out, by the way, while I edit, the next edition of Retro Game of the Week. That time again. Hi, guys. Welcome back to your Retro Game of the Week. This week's edition is a little bit different. For those who know, it's Memorial Day weekend. When you're in college, high school, grammar school, I guess, you're thinking about parties, barbecues, the start of the summer, pools, beaches, all that social stuff. But there's obviously a important meaning to Memorial Day. When I guess you're in that mind state, you might think about it, it might come up and you're like, all right, cool, whatever, summer, heat, beaches, parties, all that stuff, but we know what Memorial Day is really about. It's about those who are no longer with us, who decided to give all for this country and for what they believed in when they served. All gave some gave all, as the saying goes. And for those who gave all, who are no longer with us, whether it's a friend, a family, a neighbor, just anybody that we knew, thank you. Those who served and were able to come back as well, thank you. We live on your legacy. You probably retired, probably had to be medically discharged. However, you decided to separate from the service, but still served. And you might have served next to somebody who isn't here anymore. We thank all of those who served, who just gave whatever they gave to the service, especially those who are no longer with us and decided to give it all. As you see, decided to bring up my get up. I'm currently serving in the military, and I appreciate everybody who stands side by side with me, no matter what branch, no matter what service. We're all part of the Big M, as they say. And it's an honor and a privilege to serve with you guys. But let's get right into this Retro Game of the Week's episode. Decided to kind of move away from the plan that I had and do something different. So we're going to talk about 1942. It's one of my, actually, not favorite, but I enjoyed playing a lot of it as a kid. I didn't have the game when I was growing up, borrowed it or rented it, and it's kind of like just a linear up and down shooter. You just kind of move left and right, up and down. So it reminds me of like Space Invaders, Asteroids, Raiden. Instead, Raiden went from like side that you would go across the screen instead of up and down. Well, you're not traveling up, you're traveling sideways, because you're still kind of, it's really just XYZ axis. You're just in an aircraft shooting enemies. Trying to get to your destination. In 1942, you're controlling a Japanese aircraft trying to get from the Pacific shore all the way to Tokyo. It took place, I guess you could say, around the World War II era type of thing. It also had an arcade port, a sequel of 1942 sequel, 1943, the Battle of Midway. If you know the story about behind Midway. The game's relevance to it. This time picture is going to be up here because I got this, space that needs to be taken so it doesn't look awkward in the video. But it's not really much of anything. You're really an aircraft. You get power-ups. You get your gun changes. You go from like shooting like 4 or 5 bullets to then there's just like this blaster that kind of takes up not the whole screen, but like some of it. Really just like Raiden and Gradius and all of those, that is just an aircraft shooting a bunch of different enemies coming on and off the screen. Not much besides getting to the boss battle, destroying some big aircraft, or maybe a tank like in the arcade version, or I guess an aircraft carrier, or not an aircraft carrier, but a destroyer ship. And if you like shooters, where it's just literally linear shooters, you'll enjoy this. I had to whip out the arcade stick while I was playing it on the NES to give it more of the arcade feel, because on the controller and the D-pad it was just kind of like black lackluster. It wasn't all that great. But that's your game of the week this week. I don't want to too much into it because, you know, today, like I said, it's not supposed to be a sad day, but definitely a day of remembrance. Well, not today, tomorrow. So take the time to remember all of those who sacrificed the ultimate sacrifice for us. And if it's a family member that did so, sorry for your loss. I'm a third generation military, I guess, not brat, because I didn't got raised in the military. But my grandfather served Korean War, my dad served Vietnam, and my brother served both wars in the Middle East, and I'm currently serving. My great uncle is a Purple Heart recipient, and one of my uncles also served a short term in the military. So to all of those serve, once again, thank you, and have a great rest of the day, guys. Take it easy. Peace.